tonight. He's literally performing at the Comedy Store next Monday, so you're getting a real treat tonight. Guys, please welcome Mitchell Mack.
Oh, I got a good game butt slap from Trey. I'm feeling it. How you guys doing? I saw you guys were looking a little sleepy earlier. You were like getting a little cuddle sesh going. Oh, she's the sleepy one. Quick to throw you under that bus, by the way. You're like, no, not me, bro. I'll pull an all-nighter, trust me, bro. So down for comedy. Dude, Reading, am I right? Yeah! What a great place. It's always nice to just say the name and get some cheers. My name is Mitchell Mack, you guys. Came from LA, I work in LA. I work at the Hollywood Chick-Fil-A. And I say that to remind everyone here that I am better than you. It's kind of a power play of mine. Like, if you thought you had any dominance in the situation, like, well, I work at the Hollywood Chick-Fil-A. The internet views Chick-fil-A employees very highly, actually. I don't know if you know this. We're right below dogs that do human things on the internet. It's like, dogs that do human things, boom, Chick-fil-A employees. My pleasure. There, they just love us. Working at Hollywood Chick-fil-A, you'd think I served like a ton of famous people. Totally not true. I served the Joker once, and he always asked for free food. He'd dressed up as Joker on Hollywood Boulevard. He's like, "Can I get a sandwich?" And I'm like, "No, get out of here, Joker. I know the Batman. I'll call him." I have served Jay Leno once. True story. And I know it was him because of how gigantic his head is. This guy's like a human bobblehead. He was walking up, coming in, could barely control it, coming my line. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing, sir?" He's like, "Hey, that's kind of my question. Actually, I normally ask how people are doing, but and he does his order, and I put his name down. I got to put the name down. I'm like, "Are you Jay Leno?" And he's like, "Anyway, yes I am. Yeah, I guess I am Jay Leno, yeah." Pretty happy with himself. He gets his food, sits down, and then he doesn't eat his food. He first interviews his food. It's like, "My next guest tonight is the beautiful Chick-fil-A sandwich. I want to give it a Chick-fil-A sandwich." And hold on, I'm like, "No, Chick-fil-A sandwich. How you doing today? You got any funny anecdotes?" And then he eats it. I'm like, "You just gave this creature life, and now you're just going to devour it like that?" Jay Leno is savage, that bobblehead monster with a full head of hair, but very thick. He is old. He is very old, very thick head of hair. So I came in from LA, flew into Sacramento, drove in with my mom, my grandma. Give it up again for my mom, my grandma. My grandma, I'm surprised she's still awake. She was like, "How late is this gonna be going?" Don't worry, Grams, we got you. My grandma is like so nice, and she's always obsessed with feeding people, right? And I'm super skinny, and so I'm never full in her eyes. I've never been full ever in my life. And she's always like, "Oh, Mitchie, would you like a sandwich?" I'm like, "Yeah, Grams, I'm good." She's like, "Yeah, all right, I'll make you a sandwich." I'm like, no, Grams, I'm good. She's like, "I heard you loud and clear, make you lasagna." I'm like, "No, Grams, you don't understand. Like, I'm full." She's like, "Eggs and bacon, all right, come on." I'm like, "No, Grandma, like, I swear to you, I have eaten. My stomach is full." She's like, "But I made an apple pie." I can't turn down apple pie. And then she's like, "Only if you lasagna first." I'm like, Grams. Yeah, trying to trick me eating your apple pie. My grandma and I also have something in common. We do not get our hair wet. We do not get our hair wet. Because my grandma is the grandma fro. That's why. That thing is untouched. You are not allowed to touch the fro. It's like Trump's hair. You can't touch it. You cannot do anything to it. My hair, I can't get it wet for a different reason, because I am losing my hair. And when it gets wet, it is very noticeable. Thank you. It is sad. I'm losing my hair, and I'm freaking out, guys, because my hair is easily the best part of my entire body. You look at this thing, the hair is the best part. Like, I got some weird teeth and moles on my face and really thin hands. Not small, but thin. Like, I told my brother-in-law my ring size. I was like, "My ring size is a 7.5. And he was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Oh, I didn't tell you I'm dying." He said I have a thin ring finger. What if all my other fingers are regular sized? Just so happens that my left-handed ring finger's a little thinner. But I'm freaking out, because if I lose this thing, I become hideous. You notice, it's like a pair of drunk goggles, for the world. Like people look at me right now and they're like, "He's all right. He's okay."
I wouldn't date him, but you know. He's kind of a hand-me-down guy. My friend Patricia's pretty desperate. Hey, Trisha.
And Trisha's like, yeah.
That guy Mitch over there. Think you might date him?
And she's like, he looks alright as long as he has hair. I'm investing in a toupee, folks. No, so I'm like losing my hair. I'm freaking out. So I talked to my dad. I call him my dad. I'm losing my hair. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. My dad is not great when it comes to emotional advice. My dad on the phone, he says, well, at least you have a good jump shot. Which, by the way, is not true. I do not have a good jump shot. I've played basketball a lot. And I get racially profiled on the court. You know, everyone looks at me, they're like, okay, he can shoot very well. He can't do anything else, but he can shoot lights out. And I'm like, no, all I can do is set a screen. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically just strategically standing still. I just go like... Like, Mitch, catch, you're open. No, I'm closed. These are my screen hands. I use for covering my wee-wee. So all these are good for these thin, dainty tap dancer hands that I have going on. You look at my body, you wouldn't assume basketball, you would assume tap dancing. That's a sport I'm good at. He can't dunk a ball, but boy, can he wear fancy, loud shoes. What was I talking about? So, my dad... Oh yeah, Rogaine. So like, I have to buy... What a tangent! I have to buy Rogaine in public because it's cheaper. But the worst thing is like, I'm poor, so I have to buy the off-brand Rogaine, which is called hair regrowth treatment for men. So it's like... So like, I'm walking around with this, maybe if I bought Rogaine, maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know what Rogaine is. But if you can read English, you're damn well sure you know I'm losing hair now. Just walking around Target. Like, these are all my problems in my hand. Like, the only way this gets worse is if I also have to purchase, like, anal cream and an idiot's guide to how to lose your virginity. Like, I'm at the self-check, like, oh, don't mind me, just getting my hair growing my bum-bum cream. Ooba-dooba-doo, never touched a girl. Freaky! My life is great! Oh, no, I was talking about my mom earlier. Give it up for my mom. I have a mom and a dad. We've had like rocky past. Like, it's good, but there's been rocky stuff. Like, my dad and I, for instance, we started out not having a relationship at all. And that's not because he wasn't there or because he was like a spy that was doing secret missions or anything, but just because he doesn't like babies. And it's not that he doesn't like, he just doesn't get babies. Like, in the same way that most people over 60, they don't really get what a gluten allergy is. They just can't, it's like a fog that they just can't grasp. Like, my wife has a gluten allergy. We go to my in-laws. My mother-in-law's always like, would y'all like a sandwich? And then my wife is like, I can't eat the bread, I'm allergic. And she's like, all right, then I'll make it on wheat bread. He's like, no, I'm allergic. You don't understand, I'm allergic to all bread. She's like, all right, then I'll make it on a bagel. Asking you shall receive, Mrs. Picky. It's amazing the questions they ask Aaron. Like, they'll look at a bag of flour, they'll be like, so, can you eat that? She's like, no. And they're like, but you can eat this tomato. She's like, yes. Like, all right, well, what if I dip the tomato in the flour? Like, no, then I can't eat that because of the tomato, right? No, because of the flour. I can't eat the flour. They don't get it. What was I talking about? Why I led into that? The flower thing? Because my dad doesn't like babies. I was a baby. Here's the thing, though. He has a great relationship with my older brother, Marshall. Guess he wasn't a baby. Because they watch basketball. They love basketball. They're always like, ha, layup. Or however you watch basketball. I don't know. I'm just over here tap dancing like, well, whenever you guys are ready to get your shoes on, we can do a quick jig. So I realized quickly, if I want to have a relationship with my dad, I need to learn about basketball, right? So I do studying. I learn all the teams, I learn all the rules, I learn all the history. For instance, did you know that in the 1930s, basketball used to suck? Like, you watch these old black and white highlights, it's just a bunch of like barely 6-foot white dudes dribbling with one hand behind their back. They're always like... always looking down? Like, I don't get what the logic is here, but like the 30s, you know, logic wasn't their first concern. Like, this was the same generation that had like babies hanging out of windows in cages. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's a real thing. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so like just, you specifically, oh, I was there. I'm a time traveler. I've seen a lot, can't talk about it, the CIA will kill me. So I come to my dad with his newfound knowledge, right? All this basketball. I'm like, hello, Father. Would you like to watch Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks face off against Kevin Garnett and the Boston Celtics at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT? And then my dad says, actually, Marcia and I are going to go watch some hockey. Really? Hockey? Oh, that's great. Oh, that's fantastic. Hockey is the worst. It's just a bunch of drunk, toothless Vikings beating each other up over a puck that I can never see. Who's playing hockey out there, the Mighty Ducks or Harry Houdini? Bah! It's gone. Or is it? Hockey. I hate hockey. So my dad and my brother, they're bonding watching David Blaine on ice. And then my brother and my mom, they also have a better relationship than I do. And I know this because she spoke at our weddings. My brother and I, we got married. I just said my brother and I got married. That's like a Game of Thrones plot point right there. All right, everyone dies, we see some boobs, and then the brothers get married. Season 4. No, so my brother got married to women. And so my mom speaks at my brother's wedding, and she's like, June 13th, 1991. I give birth to the most beautiful baby ever born. And I lean over to my wife. I'm like, she's a mother of 5. She didn't compliment one baby. She just insulted 4 babies. She could have made this statement a little more acute. Most beautiful baby born that year. Most beautiful baby born up until this point in time. But no, it was a blanket statement. A blanket woven out of the material of her favorite firstborn. She's like, most beautiful baby born of all time. Wanna take a nap on this bed? Third born? and then she like starts describing Marshall as a baby. She's like, oh, his beautiful chocolate hair and his soft doughy skin. Like at one point, I don't know if she was describing giving birth or like giving a tutorial on how to make a chocolate croissant. Like, and then you fold the crescent roll over with your 4 fingers. Isn't that right, Jean-Claude? And then she talked about giving birth to me. Which she needed a pack of cigarettes and a bottle of wine to do. Oh God, you want to talk about giving birth to Mitchie? You may as well ask Haley Joel Osment how he feels about growing old. Oh. He sees dead people, I see a dead career. All right, here we go. You want to talk about giving birth to Mitchie? You ever seen a bowling ball? That was his head. I'm not talking about a cute little 8-pound, I'm talking friggin' 16-pound finger hole so big, it's reserved for Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah. That was his head. So I hope you like the blender I got you, you son of a bitch. She got me a Vitamix. It's dope. Angst aside, really great blender. Thanks, Mom. What else was I thinking? Oh, so like I got married this summer. Thank you. Being married is great. Like when you're dating, you find out all the things you have in common. And you're like, oh, you like Trick cereal too, you know? And like when you're married, you find out all the stuff you don't have in common. You're like, I didn't realize you liked Swedish death metal so much. That is an interesting turn of events. But like, something my wife and I view very differently is the doctor. Going to the doctor. I'm not a huge fan of it. And like, I have this mole on my back. It's a pretty big mole. It's a pretty sizable mole, but he's been there like my whole life. And he's never been mean to me. I don't have any complaints. I barely know he's there. One time I thought I lost him on a slide at a water park, and I like felt him like, whoa! But then I found him, it was all good. The reunion was just beautiful. But then every time my wife sees this mole, she's like, gross. And then she says, that looks like it has the power to kill you. And I gotta be honest, I had never viewed Jeffrey in that light before. Like, to me, like, we're tight, we're cool, but she's putting these thoughts in my mind, so I go to the doctor, I see the nurse. The nurse asks me some questions, and through these questions, she finds out what a loser I am. She's asking me a question, she's like, do you do any drugs? And I say no. And she's like, do you smoke? And I say no. And she's like, do you drink? And I say no. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. She's like, not even socially? I'm like, no, not even socially. Like, I know I'm in the minority here. I do not like the taste of alcohol. I don't think it tastes good. And whenever I say that, everyone's like, oh, it's an acquired taste. And the whole idea behind an acquired taste is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It doesn't make any sense. Like, if it tastes good, it tastes good. If it tastes bad, it tastes bad. Boom, pizza. Pizza tastes great. First time I had it, I loved pizza. It wasn't like I ate it and was like, oh, this pizza was gross. And then one of my friends was like, hey, you should keep eating that pizza. Because if you do, one day, you'll be able to eat so much pizza that you'll finally have the courage to purchase that SpongeBob crystal and set on Amazon, you know? Like, no, it didn't work that way. I just liked pizza. And then, so I see the doctor, and as it turns out, the nurse hasn't told any of this information to the doctor. She's a terrible nurse, because the doctor's like, really, not even socially? I'm like, no! Like, where am I, a hospital or a frat house? Like, I haven't felt this much peer pressure to drink alcohol since I was in middle school. I grew up in England, by the way, and it's very different drinking standards there. It's just a bunch of, like, drunk 12-year-olds with some stolen Smirnoff Ice. It's like, come here, I got it from Dad! Drink it, drink it! And so the doctor's like, all right, take off your shirt. And so I take off my shirt, and I'm freaking out about the mole. I'm like, oh, it's gonna kill me. And the doctor's like, ah, you're fine. Oh, really? He's like, yeah, let me tell you a bunch of doctor stuff as to why you're fine. I completely stopped listening at that point. I leave, and I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, guess what? The doctor said I'm fine. And she's like, great. What did the doctor say? That I'm fine. And she's like, no, I know, but like, how are you fine? Like, what exactly did the doctor say? And this is the difference between my wife and I. My wife, when she goes to the doctor, she wants a book. She wants a beginning, a middle, an end, maybe a plot twist. But me, I don't even want the spark notes. I want the ending. Does he die? Does he live? Spoiler alert, I don't die. Cause the second the doctor was like, that mole won't kill you, I stopped listening. I started watching old episodes of Friends in my head. The one where Joey gets his head stuck in a turkey. Yeah. Joey, it's Thanksgiving. What are you doing? You silly goose. It's just, oh, what was I saying? Something about a goose? No, you said that. What?
You tune out.
Oh yeah, I tuned out completely. Because like, I've tried to talk to doctors before, right? And I always feel like an idiot. Like, I went to a doctor, because like, they go to school for 15 years so they can look at a butt in a different way than you have ever seen a butt. Right? They have a bunch of different words you didn't even know existed. Like, I talked to a doctor about my toe once, I was like, hey, my toe hurts. And he was like, I see. The matrix of your hallux is acting irregularly. And I was like, oh no, I said my toe hurts. Like this guy was like the Michael Jordan of making me feel like an idiot. And like, don't get me wrong, it's not hard to make me feel like an idiot. Just ask me to spell any word in the English language, and I'm a complete moron in that moment. Thank you, iPhone, for spell check always, and talk text. If it's a big word I can't spell, I speak it. Because first world problems, where I can't spell thesaurus. Like, I'm so off that I can't even, anyways. I keep losing track of my mind. Where was I at? I was talking about, what was that? Thesaurus. That was the tangent road. This guy. Grabbing a buoy. Wife, questions, doctors, make me feel stupid, they do. Oh yeah, so like the moral of the story, what I'm trying to get at is that Jeffrey and I are fine. Jeffrey and I, we're cool, we're tight. Jeffrey and my wife, however, she better watch out. He might be after her. But you know what? I think now is a beautiful time to stop, because it is 11 o'clock. And some people are pretty tired, like my grams. Keeping her eyes open, and she's like,
I'm proud of you, Mitchie. I've been watching, I haven't slept once.
she was awake for her name, and then after that she was like, all right,
I got my piece, I'm done. I got my street cred up and ready.
But you guys, my name is Mitchell Mack. I hope you had a great time tonight. Thank you so much.
Mitchell Mack, guys. Isn't he awesome?